Every day on this channel, I go through everything Elon said on X in the last 24 hours. And Elon says solar power in China will exceed all sources of electricity combined in the USA in 3 to 4 years. And this is in response to Jesse, who said that solar in China generated 1/3 as much as all US generation last month. And it's doubling every 2 years. Here is the current spread on electricity generation in the United States. You can see that gas is taking up a larger and larger portion, and solar is also growing a little bit. But if solar in China generated 1/3 as much as all US generation, that would make China's solar about as big as the gas portion here. And China's doubling their solar every 2 years. And we are currently only harvesting 18 terawatts of the potential 12,000 terawatts of sunlight that powers our agriculture, maintains our atmosphere, and keeps our planet habitable. And so when you say that it'll all be solar powered, no, everything already has been. We just have to do more to harvest that energy. And Elon says that if we or our machine descendants reach Kardashev Type 2, where the civilization harnesses all the energy from the star in its solar system like the sun, the economy won't be 10 times bigger. It'll be millions of times larger. And that's if things don't go awry, if AI doesn't kill us first. And Elon says that Starship is a critical step towards reaching Kardashev 2. And that's because the sun is radiating energy in all directions. So the more we can spread ourselves across the solar system, the more energy we can capture from the sun. Starship could also help us build a Dyson swarm. And this involves a network of independent orbiting satellites that have solar energy collectors, and they surround the star to capture a significant portion of its energy output. A swarm around the sun could capture up to 100% of its 173,000 terawatts of energy output, and the collected energy could be beamed wirelessly to planets or other locations using microwaves or lasers. And once that energy reaches Earth or whichever planet you're on, you either need to immediately use it or store it. And the costs of batteries are dropping, and Jesse says people do not understand the significance of less than $100 per kilowatt hour batteries. And Elon says no, they do not understand. And on Sunday, Andrew went to the middle of the desert to photograph the space station with the backdrop of the sun. And he didn't expect the sun to actually produce a magnificent flare at the same time. And he calls the piece Kardashev Dreams, as it represents the humble beginnings as our civilization grows. Here's a more zoomed out version of the shot. Absolutely stunning. And you can see the International Space Station right there, which Elon says should be deorbited within 2 years, by the way. And Elon also reposted that we could scale the economy by a factor of 10 trillion by getting to Kardashev Type 2. And Tesla's rolling out the robotaxi service extremely cautiously. It rolls out this Sunday to people who are invited to the network. And yeah, it's rolling out slowly. It is baby steps. This is good, says Omar, and Elon says very much so. Dirty Tesla got invited, and he's already getting emails from a Bloomberg reporter who wants to jump in the robotaxi with him to do some reporting, because of course Tesla didn't invite anyone from legacy media. We are the media now. And you know, people always say when robotaxi, where robotaxi. Nobody's ever asking how is robotaxi. No. What I'm saying is who is robotaxi. That's what I want to know. Who? This guy has 106 children. Maybe he's robotaxi. You know, because he's giving so many people rides. And Elon says Neuralink's visual implants could give humans the ability to see multispectral wavelengths, including infrared, ultraviolet, and even radar, essentially granting superhuman vision. Elon can take his Neuralink chip to the largest drone light show in China. Maybe he's already there. He said, wow. And Captain Eli supports Elon Musk even if he doesn't take drugs. And Mike says it's 2025. If your car can't reverse out of the stall by itself and drive you where you need to go, I'm not even coming to the dealership. And Tesla says the best thing is that you can buy a Tesla online within 2 minutes on your phone. You don't even have to speak to anybody if you don't want to. So you have Tesla saving lives with full self-driving, Neuralink improving lives with game-changing brain chips. The Muskonomy is currently valued at a combined $1.5 trillion. And you know, money may buy a person, but it would never be able to acquire a company culture. And Elon says true. And the US national debt just passed 37 trillion. Something has to change. And Elon says NGOs should not be funded by the government to lobby elected representatives. He says basically the government-funded NGOs are a way to do things that would be illegal if they were the government. And Attorney General Ken is opening investigations into 33 non-citizens for illegally voting in the 2024 election. Non-citizens must not be allowed to influence the election, and I will use the full weight of my office to investigate the fraud. And Doge says great work by Texas using the new and free federal SAVE database to ensure voter integrity. And Elon reposted that one of the great political moves by the left in recent years has been convincing a large portion of America that the rich don't pay taxes and it's all poor people, when the exact opposite is true. The top 1% of earners pay 46% of all federal income taxes. The bottom 50% of earners pay 2% of all income taxes. And here's an example of that rhetoric. And it's only been 2.5 years since ChatGPT, and video generation is now high quality and ubiquitous. Things are accelerating. And when Democrats talk about cracking down on misinformation, they usually mean anything that threatens their narrative. I've watched them ignore or push outright lies. It hasn't been about the truth, it's always been about control. Elon buying X tore a hole in their narrative control machine. And Mike Lee asks, would you like the Senate version of the big beautiful bill to do more than the House bill to reduce deficit spending, or less? And 86.7% voted that they would like the BBB to do more to reduce deficit spending out of 13,400 votes. And Wall Street Ape says that a Democratic Texas rep went on the House floor for over 2 hours to argue that people who move into your home illegally while you go on vacation should be allowed to stay. Democrats are fighting for the ability for squatters to be able to stay in your house. Most jacked up thing I've ever heard. And he says, luckily the bill passed to keep squatters out of your house, and Elon replied with 2 exclamation marks. Put the fries in the bag, human. And Mark Twain would have 100 million followers on X.com. Just an endless supply of bangers. He said, the coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco. They've got those famous foggy summers and cold Pacific currents. And Dominic Cummings says that Elon was accused of spreading conspiracy theories about children in Britain being raped by Pakistanis. And Dominic says that it's wrong and they were not conspiracy theories. He witnessed the attempts at the cover-ups himself. They used courts to block reporting the entire story. And Elon says, wow. And for electric vehicles, Tesla was the best-selling brand in Europe in June. Model Y was the best-selling model, and Model 3 was the second best-selling model. Tesla overall had a 19% market share. And today there was a huge data leak, and so somebody threw together a distribution of PIN numbers, the most to least common 4-digit PIN numbers. And Elon quoted this saying, AI will not have a hard time outfoxing us. And we went over this yesterday, that Whoopi Goldberg had the audacity to say that living under a religious authoritarian regime in Iran is the same as being black in America. Jeffrey says it's so disrespectful that she said that. She should be called out viciously for saying something so stupid, unappreciative, and detached from reality. And Elon says perhaps she should visit Iran. And Yunta says we took abundance of iron for granted without realizing many of its properties became the basis of our civilization today. It can be welded, molded, and forged relatively easily without the loss of its strength significantly. It can also be manipulated without alien technology. And not all the inhabitable planets could bear an interstellar civilization, but Earth is one. And Elon said Earth is almost 2/3 iron and oxygen by mass, basically a rusty metal ball. And Sergio Gore, who currently serves as the director of Trump's presidential office, claims to have been born in Malta, but the Maltese government has no such birth record. People who knew him in Malta called him the Russian boy. And Elon replied saying he deliberately lied about where he was born on federal forms. That's a serious crime. And Grok says that Gore has been involved in some controversial decisions, such as influencing Trump to withdraw an Elon Musk endorsed NASA nominee. Now, Gore has denied being born in Russia, and Elon made another post saying Gore is breaking the law, or Goryachev, I mean. And Poland is now projected to be wealthier than Britain by 2030. The rapid development of Poland is not something we've seen in our lifetimes. And Elon says, wow. And here's that intersection visualized, the red being Britain's GDP per capita and the blue being Poland's. But Grok says projections are uncertain as Poland's growth may slow by 2029. So that's everything Elon said today. And if you guys want to get early access to these videos or you just want to support the channel, make sure you join the channel as a member, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.